Hello boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Joe Knows Stuff TV. Today we're going to be discussing what's in my DSLR camera bag. So with that, hit the intro. Alright, welcome back boys and girls to another edition of Joe Knows Stuff TV. Today we're going to be talking about what's in my DSLR camera bag. Now, because I'm a Taurus and I like stuff, as you can see from around me, I'm a little obsessive. I collect things and I tend to overload my camera bag. Actually, when I go out into the field and I'm fully loaded, I look like some kind of freak. But this is it. My favorite camera bag in the whole world is a Tubu. It's a wonderful bag. Very soft. Lots of air, because that spot right there gets hot on your back. Good padding, good stiff shoulder pad with plenty of hooks for GoPro accessories or whatever you want, and a good padded waist belt. Most camera bags only have the strap. This one's got a little bit of padding on it. It's got space for a tripod or a water bottle, same over here, and it's even got this fancy pouch down here that comes out. But because my bag is so full, it's hard to get a tripod in there without it sticking out this way. So I tend to usually only travel with a Gorilla Pod. And I usually just put it in the outside of the pack, like that. I just travel with a Gorilla Pod. You've got some straps here that go in, strap on. That's enough of a tripod that I need. Anyway, what's in my camera bag? Well, I'm blocking the view. Let me move my tablet here. And turn this away. What's the first thing we all need? Memory. Memory. Now, this is what you need to protect your memory. Waterproof, hard shell, good clips. Case. You got a lot of money in memory, or at least if you do it right, you do, and you need to protect your memory. I use all SanDisk, except I've got one Sony XQD card for my Nikon 500. That's what I usually carry with me. I've got a D7100 in there now, but I usually carry the D500, which is what I'm filming with, and they take the QXD card and SD card. Most of my SD cards are the SD card minis, because I use the minis in things like GoPros, my Mavic Pro drone, and other action cameras that I have. So this is a major important. The name brand is Lynca, Lynca. I think I paid 20 bucks for it. Amazon. Alright, press pass, travel press card. Always keep your identification to where you can get to it or have someone get to it easily. Alright, the side pouch is mostly chargers and things like that. I've got a hard tripod. This is one of the stainless steel ones. It's good. It's got a good flat base to it so that it's almost impossible to turn over. And it's stainless, or it's brass or something, steel. Made in Italy. It's a Manfrotto. It's the best tripod in the world. And then I got this little piece of junk. Sometimes I use this for flashes. I love flash photography. Lens cleaner, bulb hood, lens pen, liquid cleaner, your typical liquid wipes, or the typical cloth. Lens cloth is in there. I got a charger here for my Nikon, the D7100 and the D500. I think they're the same batteries. I don't use these that much. These are for the Koken filter system that I have, or it's actually not Koken. That's an old name brand for it. And that's it for that pouch. Cleaning supplies, cords, chargers, stuff that's not exciting. What's exciting? Lenses, glass. We gotta have glass, man. Alright, somewhere, there it is. There's a zipper. I love this bag because you can get a Nikon with the battery grip and even this big clumsy thing here that I use for my side strap. They got a name for them, black strap or something. Alright, this is my backup camera actually. My preferred camera is the one I'm filming with, which is the Nikon D500. Just a dream camera, trust me. This is the next best thing. It's the D7100. The D7200 is just as good. I'm not a fan of the D60, 76s, and the ones above. I'm a fan of the D71. It's just a camera that you can get real cheap. I recommend using the Nikon grips. I've had a few of the Newers and other products, and I know I recommend Newer in some of my videos. I don't recommend the... This is an expensive thing right here, and I don't recommend supplying it with battery from third party. So that's my secondary camera. Oh yeah, the lens on it is a great lens. It really is. It's an 18-300 f3.5. It's a great walking around lens. You got wide angle of 1800, or yeah, 18 field of view to 300. That's massive. That's a very good focal range. Okay, for macro lenses or for macro shots, I use the Nikon 105mm f2.8. Good lens, not that expensive either, and the clarity of pictures from this thing is unbelievable. I use it for macro shots. Another steel tripod and battery charger. I carry a lot of batteries around with me in a little side pouch on my belt. Hooks to a belt with this thing. And this is full of rechargeable batteries. Just full. And when I take a battery out of a flash or a product, I put the used battery in here in this pouch so that I know the batteries in the bottom pouch need to go into this charger. Gotta have lots of batteries. I do a lot of flash photography, so I use batteries a lot. Alright, I got a circular polarizer filter for the lens that I'm being filmed with right now, which is a Tokina 11-1600 f2.8, I believe. Yeah, I think it's f2.8. Very good lens. It's the only third-party lens I have. I have all Nikon lenses. I don't have that many lenses, even though I've got a lot of lenses here. They're older, and some of them have some fog and haze in them, and I tend to buy glass quite a bit. But anyway, I got a circular polarizer filter. You have to have a circular polarizer filter, or at least a polarizer filter. Alright, I use a set of zombie filters, but I'll get to those in a minute. The flash I use most of the time is a newer flash. I can't remember the actual name of it. It's the NW565EX. Excellent, excellent flash. I used to use it with the commander mode in my cameras, but since the Nikon D500 doesn't have commander mode because it doesn't have an on-shoe flash, I got these newer triggers. This goes on your camera, and as it needs a flash, it sends a signal to, it's called a master and slave. They've had these for years. You just got to turn it on. Of course, I got to apply batteries because I don't keep batteries in these things unless they absolutely need them. Like this, empty. Always take your batteries out of your products, kids, whenever you're not using them. You can always put them in. But and then you put this on the flash, and it acts as a receiver of your trigger. So when you trigger your Nikon shutter, it triggers a radio signal in this, which picks up to this and shoots this flash off. Works from a long distance. You want to know how long? I use a Nikon 200 to 500 millimeter lens to model my girlfriend with. That's right, a 500 millimeter lens to model. I get great shots from it. I know sometimes it warps the face just a little bit or causes it to compact a little bit, but I love it. If I get the right distance and the right light, I get amazing shots from it, and I can fill it with this. I put this on a tripod like 6 feet away from my model, maybe 5 feet, depending on daylight and shadows and stuff. and I can walk away 200 or 300 yards and this radio signal will work. Commander mode would never do that. It would never go past 20 feet sometimes. So I'd highly recommend a lot of these. I've got quite a few. In my secondary camera bag I have 3 of these and 1 Nikon strobe. What was this, 70 or something, but I've got several of these. And then you got the little hot shoe mount that goes to a tripod. Alright, I don't use a lot of glass except for what I got, but I do have a 28mm 2.8 for that shot of the sky for stars and whatnot. Now, I also carry a 1.4 lens converter. I rarely use it because I don't like the loss of quality from these things. All they do is they double, like if this would become a 200mm lens, 210mm lens. Well, no, this one don't double it. 2 times doubles it. This is 1.4, so this becomes like a 135 or a 150, somewhere around there. 1.4 times the thing. Now, what are these things? These things are cool. These are for flash photography, and I highly recommend them. Now, if you notice, this is not supposed to be here. I don't want to take it off because it's a pain in the ass to get on it. It's a rubber thing that goes around any flash. And boom. Magnets. Super magnets. You got a flash diffuser that is the best flash diffuser on the market by far. Now this kind of zooms it in a little bit. And where this expands it, but you got to of course turn it the right way. Bounce. And it retains its shape. I hit it, wash it every now and then. I highly recommend these guys. And then this honeycomb, and it takes the light and makes instead of the light being real big hitting your subject, it's real small. I got 2 or 3 of these honeycombs so I can really pinpoint that light. There's a lot of other products that I use with this flash system. I'll do a whole video on it when I get time. Now, what do I use for filters? That bad boy right there. This goes on my other side of my belt. So I got the backpack on, I got this on my belt, I got this on my other side, and you know what else I got? This bad mamma jamma. So when I go out into the field, I am so full of photography equipment, it's not even funny. Now, what the heck is this thing? It is a killer lens. If I can get the open. Look at that sunshade. That's a huge sunshade. It's huge. Speaking of a huge, all hail Trump troll. Hail Trump, hail Trump. Fuck Trump. Alright, that's the bad mamma jamma right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a Nikon 200 to 500mm autofocus lens that is so clean, it is unbelievable. The bokeh in this lens is amazing. And look at it when it's extended. Ooh, don't that grab your attention? Yes, it does. It's a badass lens. Has to be carried on an outfit like this. That's what I use when I do wildlife photography. I use a gimbal, handheld gimbal, so that it floats. You never ever carry your camera with this lens without carrying the lens. Most people shoot like this. They never ever use the camera alone and carry a lens like this. Why? This lens weighs like 6 pounds. It'll bend your bayonet mount on your front of your camera if you hold it with the camera. So always use either this hand grip. Right now I got a tripod, a Manfrotto tripod head on it, because I keep it on a tripod over here normally. A Davis and Sanford big video tripod, fluid head. But I don't travel with that. That's too heavy. I usually travel with a little pod like this, or sometimes I'll take a shoulder pack one. But this lens is a bad mamma jamma. Yes, it will set you back $1,200 to $1,500. I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful lens. It takes absolutely stunning photographs, and I use it to model girls or model females, animals. It is a wildlife lens. Comes with this lens sock. They call it a lens case. Ha! This is a lens case. It is sold separately for $35. It is an ape case. That's right. Ooh, ooh. It's an ape case. And it fits perfectly. Now, let's see what I look like geared out and ready for a photo shoot today. Alright. Let's quickly close my bag. Let's load it so I get to feel the weight. That's why I bought this bag, because most bags of this size do not hold a Nikon with a grip. And I literally hate that, because it's like, I don't want to take my grip off every time. Wait, I'm not going to carry these around with me anymore, because I've got the lens hoods for the filters. Now, this tripod goes in there. Go on the outside. Try to zip your zipper to the halfway point, not all the way around. That's why they provide you with two zippers. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. You have to sort of pinch in. It's only because I've got it loaded to the max. Now let's see what it looks like on me. There's another great thing about this backpack. It's got two little hooks on the backpack that you can take and put a strap around it. These hooks right here come up, and you put the straps from, say, this case here around that hook, and it's no longer resting on your shoulders. It's no longer resting on your shoulders, it's rested on that hook, which takes the load to the straps and to the belt. Always fasten your belt at the bottom, and the reason is because you want to put most of your weight on your belt so that your shoulders don't get wore out, and tighten it down tight so that way the weight flows to your waist, which is a more natural distribution and doesn't wear your shoulders out. Now, a lot of times I won't take all my filters. This is a set of ND filters for the Koken. And sometimes I don't take all my batteries. It just depends on how far I'm going, what I'm going to be shooting. If I'm not taking a flash, I'll unload my flash. You know, it's all optional. But when I'm loaded down, this is what I look like. Now, another thing about this bag here, I can put this lens with a camera body on it on the inside. It will fit with a grip. It will fit. So in other words, I can have my D7100 around my neck, and I'll put it on these hooks so that it's not weighted onto my neck. I can have a D7100 here, and then I can have a D500 in the bag that all I got to do is pull my D7100 over here, reach in, grab my D500 with the big lens, and start snapping away. So it's a really good system, even though I look like I'm ready for the moon or something. It's a real good system, and don't forget that. You can stick that in your pocket or stick it in one of the folds. But anyway, that's what's in my camera bag. I will show you these filters first. These filters are badass because these are the big boys. They make them in 3 sizes, but if you want the right size, get these bad boys here. Neutral density filters. And what they do is they just fit. Buy one of these for the particular lens you got. Say you got a 77 millimeter lens. You screw that into your lens, and then this pops right in there, and then it screws into your lens, and then these just slide in and out. You want to put them to the closest one, so you don't have any kind of, and of course you take this plastic off. I haven't used a lot of these because I've had a smaller set. that I've been using. I just got the big set whenever I got the new lens. Now this is a gradient one. It's darker on this side than it is this side. So it'll be good for skies. Hold it up like that, put it in the last one, the one closest to the lens itself. And just slide it right down. And then you can adjust it. Like if you want it dark on most of it, you can go down to about right there. As long as this line doesn't go below the curvature. If that's really dark there, and then that's really light with a little bit of gradient at the top. So these Zomi filters, way cheaper than Koken, way cheaper than, there's another brand that a lot of photographers use, and one filter, like $100. And I love photography, but I can't go that much. But I've got all the gradients, I've got all the colors. That's a green gradient. I've not used a lot of these because I do a lot of post. That'd be good for sunset. Tobacco, I think it's called. A blue one, that'd be good to tone down the highlights in the sky. Now, something that is very valuable is this one. It's a 10 stop. It is stops it down 10 stops. So it's good for taking really super long exposures in the daylight. So I highly recommend filters, and you can get this system for about $100 for the whole thing. And these things are like 10. Alright, that should do my video of what's in my camera bag, boys and girls. Feel free, if they enjoyed this video, to hit subscribe, hit a like button, hit a thumbs up, give me a comment, let me know how I'm doing. I got other videos on here of other things that I teach, airbrushing, tattooing, drone flight, drone photography, and coming soon, tie-dye t-shirts. So, hope to see you on the next one. Later.